He's got some storms going on, so hopefully he's okay. But you know the rules. We'll go ahead and continue since we're only missing one. Would anybody like to take a stab at recapping the last session?
I volunteer, Ollie.
Do you want that inspiration or not?
Sky, I think you should do it since you're the one that touched the star thing.
Huh?
You
Oh,
touched the
that's fair.
star thing. You should do it.
You did touch the star thing.
You
right?
cannot Uno reverse this on me.
What? Why not?
This works.
Technically.
Also, I should be free from this since I found a loophole and said I was scared of snakes.
Mhm.
I'm scared of introductions.
Imagine scared introductions. All right, roll a wisdom save. Oh, you failed. Introduce yourself in front of the class, please.
Oh my god.
You got this, Sky.
You go
Why did
first,
you
Sky?
see that? What the hell?
You want to give it a shot?
Oh. You know what? Sure, it's gonna be severely butchered, but absolutely sure. Why not?
Go for it.
Yes. What? I'm already blanking. God damn it. All right. So we started off right after the battle with what the fuck's his name?
Isla?
Mr. Godman with the elements. Calcul.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Calcul versus Lila. That's the bitch. So they had a scuffle. Lila lost. Like, absolutely got her ass handed to her. And then bibbidi bobbidi boo, we went down, healed Hal's father? Yes, Hal's father. Asked Calcul some questions. Calcul said we can talk in a more secure area. Took us to like this weird world, maybe? Pocket dimension? I don't know. But basically, it was like one big grand feast, and Traven started stealing shit.
Oh, I should check if all those things were still in my bag because he said when he left the room that everything disappeared.
We asked Calcul some more questions, got some answers. He sent us to some sort of dungeon after we got all rested up and better. Sent us off to like this dungeon or whatever. Had to tell a statue our worst fears. Traven already broke that. Traven found the loophole. Traven and Amira also jebaited Vale into going. And then we proceed to solve a couple of like escape rooms, I guess. Up until we got to a room full of lava. My inner Amira senses were tingling that danger was nearby.
Inner demons.
Yes, I was fighting my inner demons. Anyway.
Don't forget about the door. The door is very important.
The door is very important.
The door. What door? Who door?
We
What
said-
door?
Or that they flirted with.
Oh yeah, we. I don't know why I'm saying we. Traven, was it Vale and Bell? I forget.
It
I
was
think
all the
Vale was-
boys. All the boys.
Yeah,
Okay, so so Vale helped.
Bo seduced the door with the
The
help.
boys
trap
tried
and
to seduce the door, while Eris and Amira were very off-putted by the situation. Somehow they rizzed the door open. I don't know how the hell that happened. We got to the lava room. Oh, we also had a room where it was the gauntlet or whatever. Yeah, Traven got his hand stuck in the Thanos gauntlet, nearly drowned himself and us. And all Traven had to really do was quite literally point at the ground.
He did.
I pointed every which way. Apparently, Travin's not smart enough to point down.
Yeah, good job.
He never points down.
I don't think that's character flaw. I think that's player flaw.
No, it's a character flaw.
No, it's definitely a player flaw.
I'm RPing as my character.
Nah. Can't blame the character for your lack of brain cell. Anywho. Like I said, we got to the lava room, whatever, and bibbity bubbity boo. Amira said, no, don't touch lever, don't do any of that, stop it.
And then Amira went and touched it.
And then proceeds to do it.
Amira did not touch the lever, excuse
Not the
me.
lever. Sorry, the piece.
So we all decided to go into the Travin's little pocket dimension or whatever, and just fucking rope. Traven sent down little robot friend to push the lever. Out came a piece of Solomon's Star, and we basically contemplated whether or not one of us should grab it. Traven tried to send little robot friend to try and pick it up, but little friend could not move it. So Amira said, hey, Bo, hold this, and then went off and touched it.
After you told Bo to stop you from touching it.
Yeah, Amira's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Never would have guessed.
Amira nearly died from it. And then the rest of the party came to Amira's help. We all... A new hand touches the piece. We all proceeded to take a share of the pain, the agony. And then, yeah, we gained a piece that was basically just fucking Javius's orb, or Javius's pearl from...
Hey. Javius
What do you mean,
doesn't exist
hey?
right now. That's in the future.
But see, that's the whole point. Is Javius.
We have the predecessor.
Javius has the time things. So who says that we can't see into the future with it and see Javius? Henceforth, Javius is alive.
I'm about to crank this clock forward.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It doesn't crank forward. Sorry to say. Sorry to burst your bubble.
I'm gonna make it crank forward.
That is cranked.
What do you mean it doesn't? What do you mean it doesn't go forward? Time goes
Doesn't go
forward.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
stop and
Those are going
return.
forward.
How
Stop
does that
and
not go forward?
return.
Huh?
Stop and return. So it's reverse or stop time.
Okay, and
Future
what if I
doesn't
want to
exist.
reverse time?
All right. That is correct. So now you're back in this little forest area that you guys originally started. Go ahead and take your DM's inspiration.
Our poorly constructed DM's inspiration,
No,
as my
it
memory
works.
is absolute dog shit.
It works. You recapped it. All right. As we start off, as per usual, I do have a little scene for you. An update on things that are happening outside of the party's current perspective. Returning back to the small, kind of rundown shack that Lila had been stuck in. As in deep sleep, Lila seems to be resting. And there are memories and sounds that seem to kind of find their way into her dreams. You can hear sorts of insults and people that seem to be screaming, scared, calling her saying things like monster and whatnot as she rests before kind of being abruptly woken up. She kind of opens her eyes again as she kind of sits herself up. You can see as she moves. Pain kind of keeps her from being fully able. She slowly kind of sits herself up on the side of the bed and kind of collects herself. This this person that seemed to have helped her, this again rather average-sized elven woman appears to be. She seems to be stepping in with a bag of things. Again, she has. Actually, let me pull up her picture so I don't describe her wrong. So she kind of has like this sandy blonde hair, kind of a rundown. It almost looks like it would be kind of royal clothing, but it's more definitely run down and has been used for a very long time. Kind of like this coat that she wears over. She has kind of this long braid that falls down her back. And she has kind of smooth, kind of white skin, but you do notice a prominent feature is the fact that her eyes are kind of this milky color. They're kind of like gray and white and just milked over her irises. She kind of steps in and you see her ears kind of perk up. Kind of, oh, you're awake. As she starts to kind of pull the things out of this bag, you notice that she seems to be pulling out kind of cooking supplies and things to kind of prepare a meal. As she kind of looks back behind her towards the bed. Are you hungry? Would you like something? Would you like something? Lila kind of meets her with silence, kind of bringing her attention away, looking off. But as Lila goes to kind of inspect herself a bit more, kind of looking over the bandages again, which at this point are now getting quite bloody and just kind of dirty over time, she noticed something that kind of catches her attention. As she looks down, she notices that her right hand, her glove, is missing. One of them. And she kind of panics for a second, starts to kind of look around, and you see as she starts to kind of like, with her gloved hand, starting to push kind of sheets aside, the pillow kind of up out of the way, starts to frantically search. She goes to kind of get up and look under the bed, but she can't, kind of gets up, kind of, as she slumps back down into the bed. The girl, taking notice, kind of looks back. I was like, oh, is everything okay? Lila kind of looks to her. My glove. I'm missing one of my gloves. She seems a little perplexed. As Lila kind of seems to explain, not really why she needs the glove, but definitely explaining the importance of having the glove. The girl kind of gives her a very solemn nod and kind of lets her know, well, how about I cook some breakfast first, and then when we're done, we can go looking for your glove. To where they, again, she's kind of met with silence. Lila's still trying to assess the situation. The girl doesn't really seem to regard her with any fear, but almost oddly enough, it's not like she's regarding her with any kindness either, per se. Just enough. She's just kind of acknowledging Lila as another person in the room, which Lila doesn't seem to be used to. Whether it's the fact that somebody knows her or just the sheer pressure she usually exerts off with her power, people have either, been quick to try and please or very quick to run away. So the first instance that Lila has had where somebody almost seems to be fine talking with her. Alright. So we finish that scene. Like I said, you guys are back into this back to where you started, actually, after just using this star piece that Amira tried to mess with. I will say, like, as Amira did it, you could literally see, like, it wasn't like she was being injured. It was almost, you could literally see like the life force sapping out of her. Like her body was getting thinner and thinner, and like her skin kind of like more wrinkled and like kind of dry. It was quite literally just like sucking the life out of her. Of course, Bo and Travin, I think most everybody jumping in to help kind of disperse that power. You guys, I mean, and I'm talking when it stopped and pulled you back, it was a matter of seconds, just boom. Now you're back out and by this kind of skeletal dragon, this big gravestone that kind of sticks up out of a puddle. You're now sitting kind of, I would say about 10 feet away from the water. Yeah, y'all are now standing there. And Mira, you still have the piece. As long as you're not activating it, holding it seems to be fine. It's a little warm to the touch. It's now much more noticeable now that you know that the air around you isn't like 120 degrees. It's pretty warm to hold. And it seems to glow about 20 feet of light out here. What would you guys like to do?
Amira, are you still holding it?
You unmuted, Amira.
I realize this now.
I was like,
Because I gave a very current answer of yes. Yes, I'm still holding it.
Okay, can I smack it out of our hands?
I'm going to grip onto it tighter.
Okay.
Yeah, both of y'all roll me a dexterity check.
You're going to battle me in dexterity?
Roll a
Natural one. Natural one.
Ooh.
Bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, no, Bo, you try, but Amira's too quick for you. She kind of snaps it back away from you.
I don't know why, but I thought I had the 8.
No, that was mine.
I thought the 8 was mine. I'm sitting here like, this is some bullshit. Hold on.
What? Why? Amir, I don't think you should hold that. You were dying for a couple seconds there. Just put it in a bag or something.
Well, that was the plan. Give me enough time to actually put it away. And I'm gonna take like a little like a little cloth bag or something. And I'm gonna put it inside, kind of tie it up.
Okay.
And then adorn it to my waist. I'm keeping an eye on it.
I'll say the moment you notice, as it's like glowing, there's like just the ever slightest hum to it. It's nothing like annoying or anything, but it's enough that you can tell it's a powerful piece, you know? The moment you stick it into the bag, kind of tie it off, you notice that just stops. And the glow seems to kind of disappear when you tie it off.
What the hell is that thing?
This is when Amira realizes she hasn't told anybody else about the Solomon Star. Family trinket?
Bo's just gonna give her the most confused look ever. What? Huh?
It's nothing to worry about.
It doesn't seem like nothing. I mean, when you were looking at it earlier, you were like freaking out.
It's just been so long.
Mira.
I mean,
So that whole time you were freaking out about trying to, touch the lever and, bring it up and then trying to get it from you, and then the whole, you not moving when you touched it. It's just...
Whatever it is, it's powerful, isn't it?
Maybe.
Also, it almost killed you.
But I'm fine. Look. Look, she can like kind of pinch her.
After we
Look,
jumped on to help you.
it's fine.
Mira, what? Why?
Bo,
I'm not.
it's fine.
I don't know if that's true or not because that was pretty terrifying. I'm freaked out. I've been going through a lot right now, and the last thing I want is for another person I care about to die. That was terrifying.
Well, the way she's acting, she's probably going to, so it's not my problem anymore.
Listen, it is fine. I am here. I am alive, and that is all that matters.
You are alive, and I'm very thankful.
Yeah, thanks to whom?
So how do we get
Everyone
out of
say
here?
thank you, Bo.
How about we get out of here? Yeah.
Hey, hold on a second. What did that thing even do? Why are we here again?
But
You all are very, and so, I mean, just to make sure you're all on the same page, you very clearly saw what happened. This wasn't just a mirror that saw its effects. You were all affected by this.
Oh, so we know the thing is dangerous.
We know
Yes.
a reround?
Okay.
You do know, yeah, you do know everything that I described. Now, Mira probably knows a little bit more in detail because she was the one that actually triggered it. But since you all used, well, actually, I guess you all kind of contributed to it, so you all would be aware. You saw and are aware that this is a piece of Solomon's star. It is the point of stop and return. Essentially, what it does is when it's given enough aura to activate, it will stop time. And for as long as, pretty much it'll stop time for as long as you can exist. If that puts into perspective how much it pulls. And you have the choice if you would like to rewind time. Now, for the more, I think all of y'all, because you're all spellcasters, you all know stopping time is an incredibly powerful feat. I'm talking like the highest of high wizards can only do it for like 30 seconds. To give you a perspective, essentially, you guys with that piece actually has the potential to freeze it for minutes, hours, possibly, if you were strong enough to hold the piece. So you all are definitely aware that this little triangular piece that Amira has is incredibly powerful.
So everyone's aware she's lying too, right?
it's fine.
Now, about it being her family heirloom, you guys take that how you will.
Well, no, she said trinket.
Or trinket, yeah.
Those were her exact words.
It's just a family trinket. It's fine.
You take that how you will.
Do you expect us to believe that?
Have I ever lied to y'all
Yes!
before?
All the time. You're a rogue.
When?
That's what you do.
You didn't have to finish that sentence.
When have I ever lied to you?
You're always keeping secrets from us, Amira.
I keep secrets. There's a difference between keeping secrets and keeping lies. Excuse you.
I'm just saying there's not much of a
Lying
difference.
by omission. What do you mean?
In this situation, you are lying for the sake of keeping a secret. We know the thing is powerful, and we know that it is not just a family trinket. I feel
Okay,
like
so I
since
lied
we
this
all
one
stuck
time,
our neck
okay?
out, since we all stuck our neck out for you, we deserve a little bit of an explanation.
And you can kind of see Amira like tighten her hand around the entrance of the bag. Just so about that.
Amira, do me a favor and roll
Yeah?
me a D100.
Oh. Why are you doing this to me?
I hope you start hearing bells again.
45.
Okay. You guys are pressing Amira for this information. There's a voice that breaks out. It's not Calculus. It's a new voice. Seems to be young and kind of hearty. As he seems to kind of step up from the foliage, kind of in the distance, through the heavy foliage, and kind of perks up. It's like, hey, so that confirms our suspicions. Kind of steps out. You can see what appears to be a average height, a man, but he seems to be wearing like nothing but like kind of drapes around his hips that seem to kind of fall and cover his lower half. But this like body that seems to be kind of made of kind of light and fire, blue, bright blue flames seem to kind of lick up his back and up off of his head. There's kind of like a almost like a ring of fire that seems to kind of float up around his head, almost like a big kind of crown. As he kind of steps up, it's like, oh, sorry, cerulean is what you can call me.
So that's what that was.
Kind of takes a. Oh, yeah.
I heard Google in the back, like someone's trying to figure out how to say something.
You know, it means Latin. But my name is Cerulean. You could just call me Kai.
Those are completely different names.
Yeah. How tall is he?
It's a nickname. He's actually probably about 6'5". He's fairly tall.
So it's about as tall as 6'5" mirror. Got it.
Yes.
Excuse you?
You don't remember last session where it's like you have a mirror in front of you, about as tall as a 6 foot man.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what's that motherfucker?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, that's what I was kind of thinking it was.
How far away is he from us?
He's probably about 30 feet and just like approaching. He's just kind of walking up to you guys.
I would like to approach him too.
Okay.
I'm staying behind the group.
And then while I'm when I get up next to him, I want to touch him and see if he's hot.
Oh my god. You're right, he has no fears.
Come up and kind of like reach out and press your hand like against like his stomach, which is kind of like got like energy and like fire kind of rippling up it. To your surprise, no, it is actually not hot. It's actually kind of cool to the touch.
But is he toned?
Yes. Very much so.
Chad's gonna go nice.
He kind of like grabs your hand, like pulls it off of his abs, and just kind of like shakes your hand. It's nice to meet you too.
I wanted to see if you were hot.
I am not.
Well, I mean, and he gives like a little wink.
I thought Bo was the bard.
Oh god.
Sorry.
We were wrong.
Were you just hiding in the bushes?
No, actually, I was on my way over.
Suspicious.
He kind of claps his hands together. I see you're not dead, and you made it out. Perfect.
There was literally no danger. How would we have died?
There was.
Well, I mean, you're all mortals. Starvation is a thing.
I'm just gonna kind of look at her. It's like
That long?
I don't know. I kind of filled myself up before we went in.
Yes, but I mean, you know, if you were in there for weeks, months, it could have been bad.
Well, we gotta go.
no.
You are not going to resort to cannibalism.
What if it's just the lower half? Is that still cannibalism?
Yes.
Travis, you can't do that.
Traven came out with a new high. That's what's going on today.
What were you hoping we'd die?
No, of course not. But it did confirm, well, at least Calcul's suspicion. You guys are on the same level, well, as me, technically.
Excuse me?
Who exactly are you?
So
He just said his name. Are you not
I get his
listening?
name, but who is he? Like, what is his position in this world?
Fire dude.
Oh my god.
I am one of Calcul's 6 elementals. I'm the elemental of wisdom. You guys have seen me before, but not like this, per se. So he takes his fingers and kind of gives you a snap. You all feel that same familiar kind of that flash of blue that kind of ripples through your mind. This time, much stronger than you've ever felt. It's prominent and strong.
So, like, since Traven wasn't there, he's just gonna go like, "What the fuck?"
Oh.
It was you.
Are you the guy that brought us together?
Technically, yes.
You made me look like an idiot in a tavern!
I think you did that yourself.
Yeah, it's not really difficult.
You know what? No one asked you.
You got arrested for that. Sort of. That wasn't V's fault.
The events that followed that were not fully intended. Though we did try to bring you together. Pretty much to explain the situation. How would I put this simply? Think of it as like stars in the sky, right? All of your individuals, your mortals that live on the world, think of each and every person as a star in the sky. Well, you would imagine that, say for me or for any of the other elementals or even Calcul, say they were a form of astronomer. That astronomer would take a peculiar interest in some stars that seem to defy the normal properties of a star. They shine brighter and for longer. That's essentially what you guys were. So we started doing some tests. Of course, some of the things you didn't really seem to notice or pick up on, but that day when you all met, that was the first one that actually worked. I simply, of course, it was me. I simply just kind of, tossed a bit of aura out there. However, instead of luring you guys into it, it was almost like it was magnetized towards you. It wasn't the fact of you wanting to come to my aura. No, it was my aura was coming to you. Does that make sense?
A bit. I was wondering why you chose to bring us all together, but I guess you were trying to do stuff for a while.
Well, we noticed the 5 of you, and you stuck out. You see, I believe Calcul went over with it. I went over it with you, but if you need a refresher, I'm sure you're aware about the aura and its properties. There are many different forms of it. Of course, you have the mortals and everyday life, humans, elves, monsters, even down to plant life. All of it has a little bit, but it kind of goes higher up from there. There's elementals that kind of specialize in certain forms of aura. Typically, their aura can kind of take a more physical property. And then there's what we refer to as a heightened elemental, which would be someone like me. Technically, a heightened elemental could be an elemental that transcends into godhood. But there's also ones that are just like me. So, for example, my element is kind of more of an abstract thing, wisdom. It's not a physical, tangible thing, but it is still an element that can be controlled. And elements can kind of be seen as those different tiers. There's kind of the more physical, normal elementals, and then there's heightened elementals. And they're either going to be, like me, or they're gods. And then, of course, your last category is the gods themselves. They've never really recorded a god heightening, mostly because gods are kind of the peak of the power. But you see, you guys kind of proved it just a little bit a while ago, that your auras have the same potency as an heightened elemental. Only someone that is on a heightened scale or more powerful can activate, kind of points to Amira's bag, that piece.
Oh.
It's just a family trinket, she said. The Shrabin says that out loud.
Silence.
No, that's a piece of Solomon's star. It is a very powerful and technically a very dangerous artifact. If you don't mind, I think Calcul would prefer if you return it to him personally. Don't give it to me. Kind of like waves his hands. I think Calcul would definitely like it back, if you don't mind. But other than that, yes, there are different pieces to that artifact. That's just one of them. Technically, there is 6 in total. And for the sake of, not only humanity, but kind of everything, all the planes and gods, we would prefer to keep those pieces separate.
So you keep it here to protect it from getting into the wrong hands, or?
Yeah, I mean, technically, yes, you can look at it that way. I mean, Calcul, I don't know a lot about it other than, what it is and what it does. Calcul has a lot more interest in it than I do. He's usually the one that kind of tends to it, kind of makes sure that it's locked away, and all that fancy stuff.
Is there a question for you?
Yes.
Since we went back in time because of the star, and you're saying we went back in time and then move there backwards, you know what I mean? Does that mean we got our spell slots back that we used since we entered?
No. They're still the same.
Thought I might ask.
Yeah, it didn't change your guys' physical properties, but it brought you back later.
Basically everything around us.
Yeah. I heard time went backwards, and I'm like, I could use some spell slots.
No, it's not it. Think of it as literally like you're still the same people. Nothing changed. Like even if you're injured, it's essentially like a big old hand just grabbed you and then put you right back here.
Ace, I do have a question for you as well. Just to jog my memory, because my memory is fried. Calcul is a god, isn't he?
Yes, he's a god.
Okay. All right.
He's a very well-known god. He's the god of creation. He's actually one of the big three, technically. In terms of power scale, Calcul is kind of just the third. Then there's death, and then there's destiny.
Hmm.
And this is something all of you guys would know. This is like pretty common knowledge for the world.
So what is Layla? Is she a god or is she just like?
She is a god, yes. She's technically an exiled god.
I remember you telling us before. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, technically, Kankyo said she was banished, but it pretty much exile is what she is.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
So, Calcul sent us here, but where is here? Where are we?
Forest.
Yeah. But where specifically? Is this
don't
like
know.
are we on the material plane or no?
Yes, we are. The reason I know that because last session I specifically asked if we were like in the Feywild or something. He said that Ace did say we were on the material plane.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember specifically going, "Hey, does any of this look familiar to me?"
Yeah, but does
I
I
that
thought
mean
he confirmed this wasn't the Feywild. I don't think he confirmed it was the material plane.
I mean, fair.
I think he confirmed it just wasn't the Feywild.
because we could just still be in like some sort of god place.
The
Like-
god place.
The god place. I don't know.
Good to mention.
I don't know, but while everyone's talking, you're just gonna see Trabin like find a stake and try to burn the end of it with one of his flaming balls.
Just that he wasn't hot.
Well, just because he's hot doesn't mean the fire doesn't transfer. Trabin is doing experiments right now.
You're bothering the poor
Look at
guy.
You boy.
He's an artificer. He needs to know.
Trabin, this might come off as very rude. Where did you learn your manners?
You do know where I'm from, right?
The Feywild.
And you do
so-
know who my best friend is, right?
All right, never mind. Yeah, fair point.
Anyway, and he goes back to poking the thing, try to get the light on the stake.
Oh my gosh.
Trem's a businessman. If he could find something to make his business endeavors worth more, he's all about it.
What does Amira got in her pocket? Give me a sec.
Pocket sand.
I'm back. I apologize. My dad needed help finding a remote.
I was just asking.
Hey, Trevin, come look at this, and I'm gonna hold up like a little vial full of black ink type of stuff.
Is that the black ink we fought with before?
Yeah.
It's the glink.
But I already know what the glink is, though.
Listen, Shiny. Okay, how much more I have?
And then he's gonna go back to poking the fireballs with the stake, trying to let him on fire.
What about
He's
an
like-
animal? You want an animal?
I am not a child, Amira.
Listen. Okay.
No, you
Bee-
leave me
Bee-
and
Bee
Dr.
loves
Longbottom
his-
the third
Bee-
alone.
All right. So is there any questions for Kai?
Yeah. Where are we? Like, are we on the material plane? Like, where did he send us?
Oh, no, this isn't the material plane.
Called it.
Damn.
This is essentially this is Calcul's plane.
Wait, then where were we before with the food?
Well, that's also a part of his plane.
Oh,
It's
how
just-
big is this place?
He's a god! What do you think?
I don't
He's
know.
not just a
God of
god, he's the god of
creation.
creation.
Well, think of it like this. Think about how big the material plane is. This is essentially the same thing.
I thought you were going to say it's bigger.
It could be. I don't know.
Oh.
He's improved since last time. That's why there's no one else here.
I mean, I'm willing to bet there's probably spots in this plane that I haven't seen yet, so
Oh.
who knows?
Oh.
Not to mention, I mean, Calcul could just expand it with the snap of his fingers.
Okay.
So, wait, if this is his plane, do you live here or do you have your own?
I do not have my own plane, no. I tend to reside here quite a bit, but I have visited the material plane a couple times.
Only a couple?
Well, I mean, I've been back and forth, especially as of recently.
Right, because you're babysitting us.
I wouldn't say that necessarily.
Then what are you doing?
Babysitting you.
Well, now I'm taking you back to Calcul. I'm going to show you the way back, at least.
Oh.
If you want to follow me. Kind of gestures and starts walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Has my stick lit on fire yet?
No. And meanwhile, like the whole time he's just been like softly like batting it away. Poking him.
Is this? I don't know if this is too personal of a question, but so elementals, they get chosen by their gods, right?
He nods.
So how did that happen with you?
Why were you chosen?
No, not to like.
Of everyone, why you?
I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious how the whole
Why are
process
you
works.
important?
He kind of looks back to you. Oh, yes. Well, it was a pretty long time ago.
It's like 20 years ago.
No, much longer than that. I mean, there's no particular reason. You know, there's no special. Every elemental is chosen for a different, for different reasons. And it really depends, because each god is not the same. The personalities vary, I'm sure as you're aware, seeing as the only two gods you've seen now are pretty different in variety. I think Calcul just thought I was a good fit. He, he spoke to me, and I accepted. It wasn't really anything too special. I used to be a monk,
Oh.
and I didn't really do anything that was, how would you say, worthy of remembering. I was just simply worked my way up through my dojo and became the owner. Time went on, and well, Calcul spoke to me, and here I am. After being with Calcul for a bit, I became a heightened elemental, and that's why I look the way that I do now.
Oh. Were you so? Were you just immortal before?
He nods.
Like a human?
Yes. Yeah. Calcul may have forgot to mention, elementals actually live much, much longer than humans. Think of it as it's kind of a 1 to 10 scale. So 10 years for a human is pretty much 1 year for an elemental.
So we're like
They're
dogs.
not immortal.
No, we're not completely immortal now. But we do live for a very long time.
Are gods immortal?
He nods. However, I'm not sure, because Calcul is technically the god of the material plane, the main god of creation. I'm not sure if it was his ruling or destinies. Honestly, it sounds like more of a destiny role, but there are ways to kill a god. It's very difficult to kill a god, especially in their own plane. But I mean, a god does become mortal when they're on the material plane. It's the easiest place to kill them, as I should say. Technically, it is still possible in their plane or outside of the material plane. It would just take a ridiculous amount of power. And I'm talking a pretty strong amount of power. However, they are definitely the most vulnerable when it comes to the material plane. Totally not foreshadowing.
I was about to say.
Okay, here's a
either
question.
Calcul's dying here soon, or we're killing Lila.
Since the material plane is Calcul's plane, is he mortal when he's on the material plane?
He not.
Huh.
Yes. Any god is.
So, he has 6 elementals, including you?
He nods again.
Is that normal for gods to have multiple, or?
No, usually a god only has one elemental. There might be some cases where there's 2, due to the fact that there's actually some gods that have 2 elements. Like Ziona, she's a god or a goddess of law and order. So,
What about gods that have 0 elementals? Is that a thing?
it's possible, yes. Usually just due to the fact that they haven't chosen one yet. Or the one case that still remains of Lila, who killed her own elemental.
So, since she killed her elemental, can she not pick a new one?
She cannot.
Oh.
Ever since she's become an exiled god, she can't do anything of that sort.
Well, if something were to happen to her, who would replace her? Isn't it usually the elemental?
It is. That is honestly a question beyond my knowledge. I have no idea what would happen in that case.
And what about a god that has multiple elementals? Who would pick the job then?
That... He kind of squints at you for a second.
No! I was just asking a question. I don't know anything about this. You think I can do anything to him?
That is also a question beyond my knowledge. I'm not sure. I've never seen it happen before. But I guess theoretically, it might be shifted over like in their last moments or something.
Or a roll of the dice?
Well, it could randomly go to one of the elementals. I'm sure the god may have decided, and then it just shifts to, they make that choice last second. I don't really know. I've never really seen it happen.
But then if one of the elementals becomes the god, when that god dies, do the rest of the elementals under that god become the new? Do they stay the same elementals for the new one?
I would assume so.
So then you have to find a new one then.
For the one that was, for the one that had to take godhood.
It just sounds like a very messy system.
I didn't make it.
So, I have a question.
Yes?
Do you know why Lila killed her elemental?
I don't really know. I just know that she did kill it.
Would Calcul know?
He might.
Okay.
Did you know her elemental?
No, not personally.
Not all elementals know each other, Travis.
I'm asking! That maybe they could have been friends!
No, I didn't know who it was, and I never met them. I don't know the reason she did it either, but I do know Lila. She's always been known to be a very reckless and hot-headed god. She lashes out very commonly, so I'm assuming that was just another case of that. Of course, it definitely came back to bite her in the ass because, well, She's exiled now. That is a very forbidden act in the eyes of the gods.
How long has she been a god?
As long as I can remember.
Hmm. So you don't know who the previous god of destruction was?
Nope.
Hmm.
As far as I know, Lila was, became the god of destruction the same time Calcul became the god of creation.
I guess that would make sense since they're opposites.
Technically, yeah. I mean, makes sense to me, at least.
I guess Calcul would be the one to know the answer, if anything.
Yeah, he would be a better guy to ask.
So that trial thing you went through, why? Like, what was he testing? And how do you know that made us heightened?
I don't think it made you heightened. I wouldn't even consider yourself heightened or heightened creatures necessarily. Just the fact that you guys seem to have the same ability or the same. Again, I think potency is a good word for it. Your auras are very, very powerful. We've noticed. Again, in terms of just pure aura, me and you guys are completely equal. If not, you guys are stronger.
But wait, we're not elementals.
No,
Are we?
No. I mean, you would probably know.
But if we practice really hard, can we become our own?
No, elementals are always chosen, but aura has been known to be. It is definitely malleable. You can use it for benefits. Hell, you all use it. You all use it right now. You've used it in the past. I mean, look at you guys. You're adventurous. All of your special techniques and magic and forms, those are all forms, different applications of your aura. Does that kind of make sense?
A little.
So, think about it like this. Amira, you're a rogue. You sneak around, and you're very quiet and stealthy. That's application of it. But also, just your ability to understand and perform that. Although that's two different things, it's still an application of your aura. And I mean, when you sneak attack people, have you ever wondered why it hurts so much more versus somebody just stabbing a dagger into them normally? That's your aura.
The element of surprise.
Well, that's how mortals explain it. A lot of mortals don't understand aura, but that is yours, Amira. Your special aura being applied, and you didn't even realize it. Yeah, I mean, same for Bo. You and your charming words and your ability to play music and
Charmador.
he just flips his hair. I have Charma, yes.
even getting past your talents. Bo, your very ability to shift and change yourself, that's also an application of aura. Your aura.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Nobody's really sure, but I'm willing even to say that aura kind of goes beyond, living. Before you are even born, I think there's just a small little speck of you that exists. So that might be, honestly, your aura might be the reason that you're changing. Or that Eris is a satyr. Or the fact that Emira is a tiefling and Travin's, I forget what race you are, trash. Are you halfling,
List
Travin?
many
You're
it's
I'm a
halfling,
gnome.
right?
I'm a gnome.
Gnome, okay. I forgot your race.
And you've
I'm-
been gnome.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, Calcio did kind of say that our auras changed? Or that he thinks they did because he didn't notice it since we were born.
Well, I apparently didn't have this until B went back to the wild.
Yeah, yours definitely changed.
No, he's referring to the high levels of aura. I'm just talking about your aura in general.
Oh, okay.
Ever since you were born, you always had a little bit in you. And again, adventurers and people of strength, they have stronger auras than your average commoner. Just because they've trained themselves and focused in on those abilities.
But did you notice when all of our auras changed? Was it different time for all of us, or?
I'm not entirely sure. That sounds like a more calculal question.
Alright.
But I do know I was made aware of the fact that there was 5 that stuck out, and ever since then I've kind of been helping Calcula out with the research on that. Yeah, that's about it.
Travin's gonna raise his hand.
Yes,
Is there a god of commerce?
I'm sure there is.
They hiring?
God, no.
Well, he shrugs.
But you let me know if you find out, yeah?
If I become aware of one, I will let you know.
And Travin's gonna do a little fist bump.
There's also other interesting things that have happened. You guys have been able to mimic properties of other people's auras. For example, I mean, the first time it happened was in that tomb with Infinity. You managed to kind of use and mimic examples of strength and intelligence. It was Dules or ruse elements.
We were able to mimic their auras without even knowing about their existence.
He nods. That's. You can kind of see why now we are very interested in you. There are very. The more you guys continue on, the more questions that seem to pop up. And it's just a matter of curiosity for both me, all the other elements, and Calcul. Because, as far as we're aware, this is the first instance ever that something like this has happened.
So, like, this is the second time I heard that name. What the fuck is an Infinity?
He's a deity. He doesn't really fit under the term or title of a god. He's one of the many deities that kind of are thrown into this wacky little world. However you want to look at that. His name is quite literal. He's an infinite being. There have been many instances where Infinity has been struck down, but he always comes back. He also has technically infinite souls at his disposal. He's known to, well, offer things for mortals, and in return, he may work away at their soul and then eventually claim it as his own. There have been a few beings that have been strong enough to overcome him, but for the most part, Infinity has claimed him. I wouldn't say that he's necessarily an evil deity, but I wouldn't really call him a good one either.
Kind of there. He's neutral.
Kind
Do
of.
you know where he is now?
Yeah.
I do not.
Because
That's worrisome.
there was this other guy who I guess was Infinity, but not Infinity, who told us that Infinity escaped. Ephemeral, I think.
Ethan.
Or Ethan.
He seems to scrunch up his brow. Ephemeral? That doesn't really ring a bell.
Was
Really?
this man just conning us? Was he not actually related to Infinity at all?
He saved your life, Eris.
Eris
He
doesn't
could have
know
been
that.
conning us.
You also didn't tell us he was a fucking earring.
Don't worry about it. Also, B's dead, so who cares?
Well, when B comes back looking for Ethan.
He's probably more worried about his guns than anything.
So you didn't see the weird fire guy talking to us? I guess you...
Well, mind you, I'm not monitoring you 24/7. So
Oh, that's nice. Good to
no
know I
matter-
still have private moments in the shower.
there
He's just like, oh no, I've seen those.
might have been things that have slipped past, but I mean, you can ask some of the other elementals; they might have seen him, or even Yakio.
Can you sense residual auras and stuff like that by chance?
Ace decided none rather not he wants to happen.
Like if someone dies? Is that what you're talking about?
That's how I know I'm asking the right questions.
No, well,
Write it down in his notes. Give him a second.
technically, when a creature is gone, their aura is gone too.
So there's never any traces of anything or magics or nothing.
No. The moment your heart stops, well, your heart stops because your aura stopped.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because there's this thing that I know my friend would never wear because it's just butt ugly. I wanted to know if there was something you could tell me out of it.
Well, depends on the thing and if I know it or not.
Travin's gonna go into his bag, making sure it's the right bag, and he's gonna pull out the rusty Ethan's earring.
It sucks you up.
Wrong bag.
Okay. You take out the earring. It's all rusty and kind of broken away a little bit. You see Kai kind of takes a look at it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what that is. As far as, I mean, if it's a magic item or something, then something strong broke it. But other than that, I couldn't tell you what it is.
Still want to know what the fuck this is. And he's like, okay, and he puts it back in the bag.
I mean, it looks like a ring.
Well, yeah, but and then he turns around to the rest of the group where he's like, you've seen how he dresses. You know what he likes. He wouldn't be wearing this rusty thing.
Well,
Yeah, I
it's
don't recall him
shiny.
wearing that.
It was on his body.
Where though?
Well, maybe it was planted there.
It was
For
literally
who?
attached to his ears.
We were all there.
It was an earring attached to his ear. Did you guys really not notice?
I
No,
promise
man.
you, he was wearing nothing but shinies.
I think I was
I
more
can
focused by the
assure
fact
you,
he
was
died.
wearing everything shiny.
We already went over that. He's technically not the. Maybe I don't
Yes,
know. Fucking know.
We didn't know that.
He technically he isn't dead, actually. But that does kind of go into another case that brought up a lot of questions. Was when B died, B was on the same level as you guys and me. But when B died, he lost that. It kind of returned to normal the way it was before. And then Traben's aura changed. We don't know, I mean, we don't know what happened there. Like, did B transfer it to Traben? Is B and Traben's auras totally separate instances? We don't know. Did you guys affect Traben? Like, there's just a million questions that could be asked about it.
That reminds me. I don't think I ever asked. How the hell did he die? He's looking back at the group.
He helped himself.
Guards. It was guards.
I was
you know,
actually-
we were trying to save a girl.
I was knocked out when it happened. But we were fighting guards, or like it was this cult thing. In this town. You were there at the town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were fighting some people that were working for the evil mayor assistant. Were
His
you
name was
awake,
just-
Amir?
I don't think she heard you.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Amir, were you awake? Because I'm pretty sure me and Eris were.
I think everyone was out besides.
I know
Yeah.
what happened. The
think I
guards
was-
killed me, and B
I'm gonna be real honest.
sacrificed himself.
I think Amira was brought up just before the incident. I don't remember if that's accurate.
I don't remember what happened to everyone else, but I do know the main thing. B sacrificed and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Bo was definitely up.
I thought I was just brought back up
You-
like the turn before.
Yeah, you might have. You might have been down.
'Cause I know I
don't
was
either.
down at some point. It was me,
It's been
Eris, and I
Yeah.
think
It's been a long time since that session, so I don't
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
But Eris was dead.
Callbacks.
Yeah, Eris is 100% dead.
I'm calling it as I see it. B offed himself.
I remember being dead.
I died, but I lived.
Yeah, how did we
Did
do
you
that?
die? Yes, but I lived.
How did we do that?
He doesn't have any magic.
All right, you guys continue on. Eventually, Kai seems to bring you to a certain spot. It's kind of like just a very small clearing in this forest, kind of like a small circle of land that seems to kind of just lose all of this like mixture of foliage. As Kai kind of seems to kind of step in, it seems kind of very casually kind of like call out to check out y'all as the gate seems to kind of open up, and Kai kind of gestures for you guys, steps in through the gate.
Alright.
Guess we're doing this again.
Going through.
Alrighty. You guys kind of step back in, and you're now kind of back in the same kind of like lush and lavish room. Though the table that had this big feast, there's no longer any food there. It's kind of just a big empty table now. As you kind of step in, you see Kai and Calciel kind of have a bit of a talk for a moment. And Kai kind of explains a few things, and Calciel eventually dismisses him, kind of waves him off, and Kai kind of begins to step away, kind of gives you guys one last kind of goodbye wave, and then kind of just scurries up. Calciel kind of brings his attention back to you guys.
Hi.
We did the thing, I think.
He's cool. I like him.
You did. I see that. You're all looking good. You helped confirm a few questions that I had. And I suppose you probably have some questions for me.
I have a lot.
All right, we'll start asking.
I wasn't really in the right headspace before when we were asking questions as well. I mean, I'm still not in the right headspace, but it's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold that thought. If you don't mind, may I please have that piece back?
I was hoping Nate would forget.
Kenneth holds out his hand.
Amira's gonna hesitantly grip the bag. But after a moment and what looks like deep thought, she is gonna hand it over.
Thank you. I don't want anything bad to happen to any of you. I'm sure, as you very well see in this piece, although it is very powerful, it also has potential to damage its users. And you see, like, he kind of holds it off, and with like a small kind of gesture with his hand, you see the bag just disappears with like a puff of gold. Alright, now, again, you had questions?
Well, that was one of them. Why do you have that piece? And where'd you get it?
That is a complicated question for me. I know it's not a very satisfying answer, but I would prefer to keep that to myself.
All right.
Goldilocks doesn't trust us.
Goldilocks.
It's not that. It's complicated.
I would not blame you if you didn't trust us.
Well, look at it this way, Eris. We have some in our own party that didn't. And he takes a look at Amira.
I can't blame her either, honestly.
I did see that, however, you guys being able to activate the piece answers my question on the fact that you guys are... I knew your auras were powerful before, but to know that they are on the same level as my elementals, that is saying something.
Hold on, though. Was it really? Because we were only able to do it by working together.
Well, you haven't seen it in comparison to... If it was anybody else, this would have probably vaporized you. There would have been nothing left. Technically speaking, Amira should have been a pile of dust after using that. The fact that she's not says a lot.
Ha! Well, thank goodness. That would have been terrible.
It would not have been ideal, no.
Would you have stepped in and done something about that?
I wouldn't have been able to step in quick enough. It was a bit of a gamble, but it was a calculated gamble.
Wait, so you just gambled with our lives?
Technically speaking, yes, but you make it sound very bad. I had lots
It
of
is
reason-
pretty bad.
I had lots of reason to believe that you were able to handle it. But that doesn't mean that it was still not technically a gamble.
I guess.
He weighed the pros and cons, and the pros came out more than the cons did.
Mira, why did you touch it?
I weighed the pros and cons, and the pros outweighed the cons.
Hey man, you're fucking bad at math.
You wanna be dust?
Okay, well here's the pros. Okay, we could have gotten out of that room. We grabbed the piece, gotten out of the room somehow, some way. No matter what, that piece had power. Con, we were stuck in that room with no way out in a dangerous situation.
And all of us would have died.
So it was.
Oh yeah, you guys were
Which
totally
did you
just gonna
prefer?
leave us to starve, weren't you?
No, that was not my intention.
So we could have waited it out.
Freaking Kai said.
Yes, well, if you weren't able to activate the piece, that would have been the case. But, like I said, it was a very calculated gamble.
So either we
Calculated.
died.
So basically, if we couldn't activate it and we just died to the piece.
Yes.
Either it worked or it suddenly wasn't our problem. I see how it is.
Either it would have worked or it wouldn't have worked. It was pretty simple.
Alright.
I would like to ask Kakul about the previous question I asked Kai about the elementals and who succeeds and what happens with them.
It's usually up to the god if there's more than one elemental.
What
They
if there's
would-
none?
Well, if there's no elemental, that's very bad news.
Why is that bad news?
Does like a new one get born or is it just gone?
It will be gone.
Ooh.
So like in your case, hypothetically,
Well, this is why killing off your elemental is a very forbidden act for a god. Essentially, if there's not an elemental to replace you and you die, I mean, it's never happened, but that element may just not, it may cease to exist. Either that or it'll spiral out of control with no one to harness it or keep it under control.
so like, because in your case you have 6, correct?
Yes.
On the off chance one of them succeeds you, do the rest of your elementals become their elementals? You have to find the 6th one? Or is it like a hard reset?
They would become the elementals of the new god, yes.
It just sounds like a really messy system.
I don't want to hear that from the guy who lives in the Feywilds.
All I'm saying is I've known rulers long enough that when they're siblings, it always turns messy.
Well, they are better than that. It's the reason I chose all 6 of them.
So they all get along?
You know?
They've never fought each other. No arguments, no squabbles.
Well, I'm going to be technical. Small squabbles, but
And see, that's how it starts.
nothing serious.
That's how it starts.
Speaking of the Feywilds, actually, there was a
Right.
weird issue with the Fey going on. Is that something we should be worried about?
He seems a little surprised, actually. The Feywild. So you've heard about that?
I think B told us.
We got arrested because of it.
Travis puts up his hands, just like, it wasn't me. I didn't get arrested, I wasn't there.
It was B. Don't
I
worry.
blame me entirely. I wasn't. I was just.
He seems. Go ahead, Eris. Roll me an insight check.
Oh boy.
What's
I asked the correct question. Oh no.
You gambled with our lives.
Woo!
I think we deserve answers.
Does Trabin know that there was an issue in the Feywilds out of curiosity, or was he traveling at that point? Didn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known about it because it happened like recent. Okay, Eris, you notice as you ask him that, he seems kind of stuck, actually. You kind of get the feeling he's debating whether he should tell you about the Feywild or not.
Out with it, Goldilocks.
Tell your secrets.
Are you gonna see Trabin like actually get like? This is where he gets kind of like scared, I guess. He's like, "Wait, is there a problem with my home?"
Well, I don't want you to worry, but if you really must know, to put simply, the Feywild is being destroyed.
And you don't want me to worry?
Well, if you want to be more specific, it's almost as if the Feywild is actually destroying itself.
That doesn't make it any better.
I know it doesn't, but there's no explanation for what's been happening. There has been a rift. Abruptly seems to have opened up in the Feywild. As far as I can tell, personally, it is a straight shot into the astral sea. But what is strange about it is this, what I described as unbalance, is seeping out of it. This black, strange aura that seeks to change the imbalances of the world.
Oh, this stuff, and Amir's just gonna pull out the bottle.
Yes, that stuff. It is seeping out and quite literally is eating away at the Feywild. What I'm confused about is why this substance is seeking to eat the Feywild away.
Does it maybe have something to do with the cult that was trying to conquer that substance?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I cannot be for certain.
Do you think that we should be concerned that unbalance was found here on the material plane? Is that gonna happen to the material plane?
I'm really concerned that I just sent my best friend back there.
Oh! Oh my gosh, you're right! Oh my god!
Maybe I did kill B.
It's definitely something very much to be concerned about. If the Feywild is destroyed, that can cause some very catastrophic events. It could very well potentially spread out into the material realm. I don't know. And I hope to have it under control before that happens.
Is there anything anyone besides the gods can do?
For the gods that are helping, we are doing our best to figure it out and to get it under control. I would prefer not to have to send you guys in to try and help, just due to the fact of how dangerous it is.
Travin's gonna put his hands together in like kind of like a praying thing, and then like just put it up to his mouth like he's thinking, and then he's gonna be like, "So you're telling me that I just found out my home is being torn apart and you want me to sit around and do nothing.
Is B still there as well?
As far as I know, yes. He's still there. Now, I'm just saying what I prefer. I'm not going to make you guys do anything. It's not my place to keep you from doing anything. I merely would just prefer you guys stay away from it. I don't want any of you, well, to die. But you guys so far are the only ones that don't seem to be affected by unbalance. But the Astral Sea is most likely a very different story. You cannot enter the Astral Sea, at least you guys can't. It will tear you to shreds.
But can you enter the astral? Like, are there people that can?
I can, yes.
And are you certain that we can't enter the astral sea?
I am very certain. And even if you did manage to survive, I don't think your mind could handle it. So, even if you did survive, you would probably go insane.
The two of us just help Bo seduce a door. I honestly don't think our minds are in the proper place as it is.
Yeah, I thought you were going to tell me to seduce the astral sea.
That's a brilliant
See, this body is beyond sanity.
Excuse me, Mr. Astral Sea, could you not tear us apart, please?
Pretty please.
I think
Ooh,
we need a drink after this. Girls' night. The men are crazy.
yeah, a little bit.
God, okay, well that was not what I expected to hear. Do you think that... Okay. Well, I have a lot of questions about Lila. Do you know why she killed her elemental?
You notice that Calcul seems to get... Actually, roll me an insight, Bo.
You notice it? You notice something's going on.
You pick up on
covered in clutch.
You pick up on it slightly. Calcul gets a little on guard. A little defensive as you bring this question up.
I'm just curious, since, you know, she's trying to attack us.
Roll me a persuasion check.
And, well, yeah.
You're good at these, right?
Persuade the god.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 7, but that's okay.
I have reason to believe that Calcul did it out of a sense of rebellion.
Calcul rebel?
Oh my god!
Yeah, Alright, Lila. I have a reason to believe she did it out of a sense of rebellion.
But she chose her elemental, right?
She was a very rare case. She didn't want to choose an elemental. That, I believe, that I actually cannot answer why she didn't want to. I think most likely her hatred for me and the other gods. It might have been another sense of rebellion, but after so long, she was given one. And of course, it didn't take long, but she killed that elemental.
So why does she have a hatred for you and all the other gods?
Well, like I said before, she believes that I'm the reason for her exile and her curse that's been placed upon her.
Are you the reason?
Not necessarily, no. It was more of a destiny's choice.
But the exile happened after she killed her elemental, right?
He not.
So if she didn't like you before, then why?
She always didn't like the gods. But ever since she's been exiled, she blames me for it.
Who's the one that gave her the elemental?
That was destiny.
So does she know that Destiny had a play in it at all, or does she fully believe it was just you?
She believes it was me.
All I'm hearing is we wouldn't be in this mess if, she just wasn't given an elemental.
She sounds like a brat. And that's saying something coming from me.
You could look at it that way, yes.
So was Lila's elemental... Well, I mean, Lila didn't choose her, but were they... I guessing they didn't get along at all?
You can feel, or you can kind of almost read another kind of sense of shift in his kind of body language, Bo. No, they didn't really get along.
My gears are turning.
Yeah, I could smell the smoke from here.
There's something I really want to ask, but I feel like if I ask it, he's gonna be like, no more questions. So I might save it.
I was about to say, can you save that? Because I have one for after everybody else's questions.
Okay.
That I would really like an answer to.
Only one way to know, Bo.
I know. I'm gonna ask the other questions first, though, so I'm not screwed over.
There's also
Okay.
other options.
When did you become a god? Were you always a god, or were you an elemental that ascended into godhood, or?
No further questions.
No, that was not the question that I was like nervous about. There was a different one that I thought would be.
Go ahead. You know what, Bo? With your previous persuasion, I was a bit of a special case, considering that I was one of the first gods created. Technically, no, I was not an elemental. You see, he kind of raises his hand up, kind of grabs a hold of his mask, kind of takes it off, kind of pulls it off.
Mm.
He pulls it off, you can see light kind of shines through. You all see and realize that Kakyo doesn't seem to have a tangible body, per se. It is just, it seems to be kind of like streams of gold and lights that seem to vaguely kind of make up this humanoid form. And you notice, like, every time he speaks, this energy seems to kind of glow brighter. I was technically just created as the first god of creation. Kind of takes his mask and kind of puts it back into place.
What about Lila? Was she always a god, or did she become one after being an elemental?
She was chosen as a god, but it was much, much later than mine. They needed me much early on, but as time went on, they began to realize that they needed an opposite to help balance things out for me, for the world. That's when Lila was chosen.
But she was chosen?
He nods.
Not created?
He shakes his head. No, she was chosen, not created.
So, was she, like, immortal before?
Yes.
And the people that chose, is that like the fates?
Yes, that and destiny. It wasn't my choice to make, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. So, when she got. So, she's an exiled god, right?
He nods.
Is she. What does that necessarily, like, mean? Is she still, like, aura wise the same as a god?
Yes, technically, her powers haven't changed much. She retained most of her power, and of course, as I've told you, there was a curse that was placed upon her. Anything she touched would crumple to dust. Of course, she's kind of found a way around that. Not only a way around it, but she has learned to weaponize it as well.
Right, because she has those gloves.
He nods.
Do you know where she got those? Or how they work?
That, I'm not entirely sure, but I have theories. You see, there are some very, very skilled smiths out there. I'm willing to bet that she went to one of these magical smiths or magical creations and had these gloves specially made for her.
Ooh. Do you have any smiths that you think did it in particular? Because having that material could be very useful for, like, armor.
None in particular. I mean, I feel like they would technically have that ability to create something like that. Yes, but I'm not sure if any of them are the specific ones that helped Lila.
I bet Lila turned them to dust after she got them to make it.
Well, mostly due to the fact that Lila was banished from most of these places. Again, she was stuck to the material plane. She was not supposed to be allowed to leave the material plane. So whoever it was had to have been from the material plane.
Right. So why did she get banished to the material plane? That's the one place that she can die and she doesn't have an elemental. Isn't that kind of dangerous?
Roll me insight check, Bo.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Oh.
This isn't the question that I was worried was gonna mess stuff up either. Please, no.
Okay. That's just where she happened to be. I'm not sure the decision behind it, but that's just where she's been stuck.
And you're just able to keep her there?
Well, yes, she technically cannot leave the material plane. Right, well, I say that, but I have reason to believe that there are instances where she may have actually got, for example, the Library of the Ancients. She managed to get in there, which raises a bit of a red flag for me. She might have found a way around being stuck in the material plane.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of questions. Oh, we were sort of talking about the cult, that they had the stuff, that black inky stuff.
Unbalance.
Hmm?
It's, well, we refer to it as unbalance.
Right, that. The unbalance.
The glink.
We ran into that, in Pierceford, and then we also ran into it in, like, that forest area, and they had a Draco Lich, and the whole thing. Do you know anything about why they're using this unbalance, or should we be worried about that?
I'm guessing it had something just to do with power. A lot of mortals are very interested in power.
Alright.
They found, I mean, it's very simple. They found something that was very strong that offered them great power and fame and money. Greed. It's about as simple as that.
Okay. So they're just power hungry, you think?
Yes, that's what I believe.
Okay. And when I did my performance and you said that she saw it. So do you know why she was in that area?
She was most likely looking for some kind of connection to me.
God, and she found it.
She did, unfortunately, find a slight connection. And it was just due to the fact it was a mishap. You are not to blame, Bo. You had no way of knowing.
Yeah, but if I didn't perform that song, at least my he just looks really sad.
Don't focus on something like that, Bo.
Bit hard not to.
But if you hadn't, think of how much unrest there would have been. There would have been so much aftermath, like so much chaos afterwards.
You helped those people, Bo. You helped them in greater ways than you could have imagined. I've seen it.
Really?
Those people are thriving, yes.
You should be proud of yourself, Bo. Not ashamed.
It's just. But
Just nothing. Your mom was kind of a bad person anyway, wasn't she?
What? She's. What makes you say that?
She
kicked you out when you were 12, Bo.
You don't know why she did that, though.
I don't think there's any good reason to do that. You are a fine
committed
person.
mass murder at the age of 12.
Exactly.
I did not commit mass murder at the age of 12 if that's what you're worried about.
Then there is no good
relations with
reason.
a woman?
No?
Hmm?
I didn't. It was. It's a very long story, but basically, it's just really tough. The song that I was performing, it was all about being myself, and that's a big thing that was. I'm just worried that she was right.
She wasn't, so. Never let your parents dictate your actions.
Most people don't get a choice on whether or not to be themselves. And I don't think you did either.
I just wish I could have talked to my dad about it. But, I mean, I understand why you didn't want to talk to me, but
Yeah, well, the cat's a prick.
you are very harsh. I swear they just wanted.
Hair.
They just wanted what was best for me. It's.
Did they? Did they really?
Listen, I'll talk about this more later.
What was best for you?
Listen,
They had a way of doing it.
listen, Bo.
Yes.
I know it's not a very favorable outcome, but and it sounds very insensitive, but things, I know this better than anyone. Things happen for a reason. Everything that has happened in your life up until now has been for a reason. I know sometimes it may seem like a very bad reason, and sometimes it can feel very good. You shouldn't beat yourself up over something that is out of your control. You should continue following that instinct. You are a good person, Bo, as is the rest of you. You are good people. And I will reiterate as many times as I need to. It was not your fault. You had no way of knowing. And I promise to you, after everything is said and done, I'm going to do everything in my power to fix the things that have been rightfully wronged. You have my word.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
He gives you a very solemn nod.
Okay, let me just check some of my other questions.
I was gonna say, ask your question.
I'm sorry, I have so many.
Patiently waiting for my turn.
I'm sorry. Okay, some of these became irrelevant because of how he answered other questions.
Good job.
Could I
Okay.
look for a place to make myself some tea?
Sure.
I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna make myself some tea and offer it to anybody else.
Alright, Travin's off
Amira will
making tea.
happily take a cup of tea right about now.
Okay.
So I know you said that you think that our auras all changed at some point in our lives because you didn't always notice it. And you know for a fact Travin's changed.
He nods.
So did all of our auras change at around the same time? Or are there specific points in our life that you can point to and say, that's when it changed?
They all changed. Let me think. Roughly about a week before when you met.
All at the same time?
Not exactly the same times, but very, very close.
I'm trying to think back to like what happened a week before we all met. Anything big?
No.
There's been a lot of big events in my life. Gotta be more specific.
It was something big, alright.
I
The thing that happened to me before we met, the only thing that I can think of happened a month before we met. So
My thing happened a couple of years.
that's not
before.
right.
My most major thing.
I had something happen, but it was weird. So do you think anything prompted that change, or is that what you're trying to figure out? One of the
That
big
is-
mysteries.
That is one of the big mysteries right now, yes.
Right. And then Travin's changed recently.
Yes. And I still am not aware if Travin's changed because he took bees, or maybe you guys had an influence on him, or if it was just purely coincidental. Surely not. But I have no way of knowing.
Oh, did his aura did it change before we ran into each other? That could, or when we all sort of
It
ran
did.
into. Oh, okay.
It did. You
So
see,
more aligned with B's death than anything.
not. Well, there was a very small bit of overlap. Travin's did pick up and spike a little bit before bees. About a week before bees. The same way yours alls were the same a week before you met.
Huh.
So there was definitely a small bit of overlap, about a week. And then when B died, as you're aware, he came back. But when he came back, that aura was no longer as strong as it was.
That's so strange. I see why you're curious about us.
Why
You
is it a week so consistently?
That is something I wish I could answer. But
Strange.
you can definitely start to see now why you all have caught my interest.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the infinity thing that happened. That was terrifying. Do you know what happened after that? Like where he is?
It is very hard to keep track of infinity. I know he left that place. He actually left the material plane that day.
Oh. It's kind of a relief.
What about
But beyond that, I'm not really sure what he's been doing, but he's also not been a very big focus. This is very common for Infinity. It's not the first time he has left the planes and came back.
what about ephemeral? Do you know what his deal is, or do you not know who that is like Kai?
Ephemeral. That does not ring a bell.
That is concerning.
However, that does translate directly to finite.
He was also called King of the Stars.
That is not a title I'm aware of.
He looked like the guy on the coffin.
Wasn't Infinity just playing some cruel ass joke?
That would. Ooh. I don't like it if that was true.
How long ago did we meet Ethan before B died?
I want to say it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks, give or take.
So say if Ethan's the reason, I'm gonna be the god.
Yeah, that's really confusing.
Nancy,
That,
bro.
I thought I'd know something. Okay. So the trial thing that we went through, did you design that whole, like, saying our fears and then flirting with doors? Like,
That is technically, yes, it is something that I've made.
any reason why, like,
Were we supposed to flirt with the door? Be honest.
it worked, didn't it?
I was not intending for you guys to flirt with the door, but if it worked.
Why do we have to say our biggest fears? Did
Yeah,
we
I think
actually
that
have
part's
to?
broken.
Yeah, because he just said snakes.
It is simply a way to enter the place. It thwarts a lot of, how would I say?
Cowards.
A lot of people with weak resolve are thwarted by that. Because, they automatically assume that in speaking their greatest fear, they're going to have to deal with their greatest fear. It's just one of the many steps to ensure that this piece remains locked away.
Mm.
But they could just say any fear and that would work too.
That's true, but then they have to deal with the rest of the puzzle.
I don't know. I liked my snakes.
You're just a weird guy. Sorry, Chavin.
I mean, mine gave me a panic attack, so.
On top of that, if it was a normal human, again, if they attempted to use the piece, it would probably vaporize them.
Alright, that'd be bad. Good thing that didn't happen to us. Okay, this one, I don't really want to ask this to him because, okay, this is kind of a general question. What does Calcul do as the god of creation? Does he, like, create
creates
people? Like, does he create people? Like, every living person?
Are you asking that, as just, in general? Or are you
Yeah.
asking Calcio?
I'm asking that in general. Like,
Um,
based on
I
what
would
I
say-
know.
Yeah, it's just the general knowledge of him, because he's a very well-known god. Yeah, it's more or less the creation of everything.
Okay. Including like,
Including
people?
people?
Yes.
So did he make us? I'm gonna ask him that. Did you create us?
Did you make us?
Did you make us?
Are you my mom?
As the god
Are you my mummy?
as the god of creation, did
Daddy?
you create us?
Daddy Calcul.
Technically, the only way I can answer that is yes, but no at the same time. You see, I merely started the creations, and it kind of snowballed after that. So technically, you were created as a byproduct of something that I started. So, in hindsight, my answer to that question is yes and no.
Alright. Okay, my last question is the one that I'm scared is gonna get me in trouble. So do you wanna ask your questions first?
I've got one.
Alright. You should probably say that first.
Calcul, I have a question for you.
Yes?
Do you know what the World Eater is?
I am aware. Where have you heard this name?
Uh-oh. I had a feeling. Uh-oh.
Now Calcul's got a question.
No. It's never good when the guy has
A dream, right?
That's not good.
That is a little hard to explain. Not that I'm not trying to, but it is genuinely hard to explain. I would say the best way to explain where I heard the name, or where I met him, would be in a dream.
Calcul goes silent,
Well, guys.
and you can see he is now thinking. He is putting some pieces together. Curious. Amira,
Yes, sir.
could you describe to me, how did you feel before, during, and after you did my trial?
Four. Pretty normal. After, a little concerned, but I'd still argue pretty normal. During the trial, I mostly felt fine up until we got to that final room.
Let me rephrase. Did you feel any, almost like you were being guided to it? Like something pulled you there? Or did you simply just find your way there?
The opposite, actually. Something warned me in the last room that pulling that lever was dangerous. That I shouldn't go near it.
What about before you even entered the place? When you found it? Was it as if there was something bringing you there?
Okay, genuine question, Ace. Was this a thing? I don't remember.
You had like a heartbeat thing, right?
I had the heartbeat thing, but that was leading me away from the levers. That was...
No, the way that you found the place was actually because of you, Amir.
Huh?
Remember the string of aura?
You had the heartbeat thing like the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was... Oh my god, I forgot about the beginning part! Oh! Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I am so glad I asked, because I genuinely don't remember. Is it the very beginning of everything? There was... I would think the best way to describe it is kind of like... Yeah, I'd say guidance. Am I in trouble?
No, not at all. It just raises more questions for me. So you must have some kind of connection to these pieces. Solomon's star.
Oh boy. Should I now mention what the dream was about?
You don't need to, but you see, the World Eater is imprisoned using the power of one of Solomon's pieces.
Oh no. Oh no. No. That explains so much. That explains actually a lot. Oh.
That's why he wanted you to take it. Free him. Do you have anything else? Does anyone have anything else they want to ask or say?
I do have another follow-up question. Should I be concerned going forward when dealing with these pieces?
That depends on if you are going to continue seeking these pieces and what you intend to do with them.
That is a difficult thing to answer. I looking for these pieces is pretty much what I set out to do.
I'm sure you have your reasons. But not only is it a very dangerous task, but it is quite a very, how would I say, for someone like you, it would be a near impossible task. All of the different pieces serve their purpose now. They're all being used for something. Like I said, one of them is used to imprison the World Eater. Another one quite nearly. You see it every day, actually. It is in the center of the sun.
Oh no.
It's
How am I gonna explain this to Dad?
it's essentially halfway powers the sun.
So what I'm hearing is give it up because I am never accomplishing any of my goals. Oh boy.
Well, if you were a normal adventurer, I would tell you that, but
I had a putt.
you guys have done some things that have exceeded my expectations.
You stop that. You stop that, Hal. Or Val. Wrong one.
I get a very strange feeling that if anybody was to take something from the center of the sun, it would probably be you, Amira.
But would that be a good idea?
Probably.
I'm gonna be
not.
honest, Chief.
Relux really believes in you.
Probably.
I don't like this.
It would probably not be a very good idea.
No.
Yeah,
You see,
no kidding. That thing was terrifying. The World Eater, terrifying.
if you manage to actually pull the piece from the sun would probably shrink to half its size.
And then the world would end.
Would it actually?
Probably.
All I have to say
feel like the
is
world needs the
gravity
sun.
and polarity are a funny little thing.
Thought we'd just get really cold.
It'd get
Yeah.
cold.
They get cold. We
And-
would essentially become probably an ice planet.
Maybe don't.
We would be well outside of the habitable zone of the solar system.
Yeah, but this is magic, so it'll be fun.
No bullshit.
I don't believe you.
All right. Anyone else got any questions? Okay. So I know you said that Lila killed her elemental. Has anything like that happened before?
No. Lila was the first instance and the only instance so far.
What about the reverse? Elementals killing their god to gain the god power.
Uh-oh.
That has happened.
Really?
What, when, where, why?
Yeah.
It has happened on several different occasions. It happened with the God of War.
What?
Ooh.
That's news to me.
Why are you offended?
Because I follow the God of War.
Wow.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
2 of them.
It's wild.
Well, which one do you follow
Which one?
now?
Which one are you following?
It's complicated.
Don't one of them toss you out?
Sounds like an affair, child.
Shut up.
I apologize here. It's not that God. It's another God of War.
3 gods of war.
Okay.
Another one bites dust. Dun, dun, yeah.
His name was Vipmir. He was the god of anger and war.
Angry.
However, his elemental of war took over his spot. And he did so by slaying him. So, that's not even the first time that's happened. So I would say yes, that is entirely possible.
So, but did they choose their elementals, or were their elementals chosen for them?
They chose their elementals.
Is Lila the only person that ever had to choose? I mean,
Yes.
had someone choose their elemental for her?
Lila was the only god that has forcefully been given an elemental.
Do you think she would have been scared that her elemental would have tried to kill her?
I don't think so. No. Knowing Lila and how she is, I believe she did it just in spite. She doesn't like gods. She doesn't like me. I
Do
believe.
you think... Sorry, go ahead.
I believe she did it as a. It's just as a way of telling us that she hated us.
What were you gonna say, Eris?
Do you think maybe she doesn't like being a god herself? Considering how much she hates the gods.
It's entirely possible.
I guess you said she was immortal before she was a god. What was her life like before that?
I don't know much about Lila's life before she became a god. It wasn't something for me to keep track of.
Hmm. don't think I have any more questions. Does anyone else? I'm gonna probably think of way more after this, but
Kind of.
God damn it, Chewie. Hi.
Should we?
Yeah, my dog. He's fucking underneath my feet.
Oh,
Hi. Yes, hi. Stop touching my face.
puppy. Anyway, I do kind of want to revisit the world leader topic. Does that have any explanation towards anything we've discussed prior? Any of the aura or weeks prior, anything like that?
I mean, the world leader himself does have his own form of aura, yes, but the only connection I can see appears to be with you and the peace. If that is what you're asking.
I guess I'm just confused because I don't. Why me? Like, I'm sure I'm not the only one looking for the piece. Or pieces.
I'm sure you're not. I'm sure there are plenty other people that have tried to find the pieces. However, let's not forget, you are not like many others, Mira. Your aura is stronger and it's more potent than others. It could be the fact that you're unconsciously, your aura is trying to reach out and guide you towards these pieces merely because it's something that you seek, something that you want. I'm willing to guess that you are a very logical thinker, Amira. And you may seek, growing up, or even now, you may seek the answer. Whether it be a simple question all the way down to the way you fight. Something that is for sure, that is set in cement. A surefire way of winning, of getting your answer. If that is true, then your personality, your aura is pulling off of that. Your aura is trying to give you the answers to what you're looking for. It is trying to give you solutions. It is unconsciously doing that due to the fact that that might be how you are, Amira. That is my guess.
And you're sure the world leader's still sealed, right?
Yes, he is. The Dragonborn were the only one that were able to beat him and lock him away.
The more I know, the more I fear. So it all makes sense, but it doesn't. And I'm not sure how to feel about this. Part of me absolutely hates this.
The peace was the reason that they were able to win. Through a combined effort. they used the piece to not only to beat him, but to lock him away as well.
Dragon form. The Dragonborn defeat a dragon. Yeah.
Well, the World Eater did originally start in Dragonborn territory.
This is history. I don't think I'm aware of. Ace, am I aware of this? I don't think I'm aware of this.
You're not, actually, due to the fact that this is a more draconic history than it is anything else.
This is complete news to me.
I will say, go ahead, roll me your choice. You can either roll me an intelligence check or a history check.
I will give you this. I will give you that.
There's a million things racing through your mind right now, Amira. With the new information that you've been hit with, I'd imagine that a lot of things have been popping up for you. But then there's one in particular that it was resting in the back of your mind at first, especially at the mention of draconic territory. And the more you think about it, the more it kind of makes sense. And it actually kind of gives you a bit of goosebumps, kind of steals your blood for a moment. You begin to realize that with what Calcula has told you, the World Eater, you get a feeling the World Eater is actually on the material plane.
I had a feeling about that, and I think I know where.
And you think about the statement that the Dragonborns made. And one by one, the pieces quickly come together. Kaluni, the island, is a massive prison for the World Eater.
That explains.
Which explains the heavy, heavy warnings that the Dragonborn gave.
There is not a lick of gold on that fucking island.
There's no treasure, really. There's the piece, and then there's the World Eater. You get a good feeling. With that, we'll go ahead and take a short break.
Oh no.
10, 15 minutes. Do what you need to do. I'll be right back. knows?
I am not here.
Get out of my head.
I am but the spirit.
I'm not here mentally. All right, so
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you, Sky.
pulling it back
Gross.
in.
Dice.
Gross.
Pulling it back in. So yeah, Amira, you are hit with this bone-chilling fact
Aw.
that you have now. You're at least. You're not 100% sure, but you're pretty positive that Kalini is just a giant prison.
Amir retires. That's it. She's done.
So, now mind you, this is only 2 of the pieces.
One's the sun, one's there.
One's holding, one's
Holding
holding
a gigantic thing called a world eater.
an earth-ending threat.
And the one that Calcul has is probably the easiest to get, and he's a god.
I really want one of them to just be like a family heirloom from like a guy named Steve. Like, he just thinks it looks pretty, so it's like
Yes.
above his fireplace.
That's the one piece that's actually Amira's family trinket.
Yeah.
It's the One Piece. The One Piece is red.
Hands off my one piece.
All right, is there any more questions for Mr. Calcul?
I don't
No,
know,
but I have a
Bo,
question
what do
for
you
you, Ace.
Yeah.
Did he ever take the tea I offered him?
Oh, did you offer some to Calcul? Yeah, he'll take it.
did. He did.
He'll take it, but he doesn't drink it.
Wow.
Yeah,
bitch.
how could he drink it if he's just light?
I was gonna say, it's really a case of like he can't drink it, but I will say he does like he holds it for a second, then he like offers you the cup again, Travin, and the cup's like empty.
Oh. I was about to say, like, wait a second, but how did he have all that food? Like, what was the point of all the food?
He just
where am I
absorbs the tea.
Okay.
Travis is just looking at it like, God damn. And he starts walking back to pour another cup. But
He's
like, as he's
thirsty.
doing that, he's putting the teacup into his bag. And then just grabs another teacup.
If you offer him any more tea, like you literally watch him, like he does not like raise it to his mouth or anything. He literally will hold it for like 5 minutes and then hand you back an empty cup.
I am
Animated
doing this
moment.
on a repeat until this conversation is over. I want to see how much tea he'll suck.
Okay.
Does he have to go to the... I'm not gonna ask him that.
He hands back a teacup that's not empty, but it's full, but it's a different liquid.
Like his cup full of piss.
He's had enough of me stealing his cup, so he's like, "Ah, bitch, steal this."
Do this, motherfucker. All right. Any more questions?
I don't think so.
I have a question for the group.
Ooh. Yes.
So, what's the plan then?
Oh. Well, where are we right now? We're in this, like, place, his place. How do we
Yeah, we're in
leave?
his pocket.
How do we...
Cause like this is like Travis speaking to him, like asking about what the plan is, and like he's straight up gonna say like, so like, no offense, like we could do whatever we need to do, but if we don't have a plan as of right now, my home is kind of like imploding on itself.
Yeah. And it sounds like we might be able to do something about that. Considering that what was it called? I keep forgetting it.
Unbalanced.
The unbalance.
It's the glink.
The glink.
You can also call it the clink if you
It doesn't affect us, so we might be able to do something about that.
Do you think we can just dust away the destruction?
We just clean it.
The file would just come out with really big mops.
I could flirt with it. That's not off the table.
Hello, environment.
he have a plan for us? Calcul?
Are you asking?
Yeah, like, do you have anything that we're supposed to do, or do we just leave?
Like I said, I'm not going to make you do anything. I'm not going to force you into, or I'm not even going to assign you something. It's very much within my belief that everyone is entitled to their own troubles and goals. I could definitely give you suggestions on what I would like you to do.
Yes, please.
If you would like, I would like for you I'm going to send you north from where you were. Up in Andria, they have a lot of brilliant scholars there. Very, very smart individuals. I would implore you to investigate a little bit more about aura, and to even try and train yours. I don't know what could happen in the future, but if you were able to get in control of your auras, it could be quite helpful, especially for your own endeavors. There's a lot of things that you can figure out in Andrea, especially things about my elementals and me, and Lila, and just about anything you could think of, really. If you want information, that is the best place in the material plane to find it. They have absolutely fantastic libraries. But should you set your eyes on different matters, then I will not stop you. I will not stand in your way. Do keep in mind that although I will do my best to aid wherever I can, I cannot guarantee that you will. I can't guarantee your lives. Not in a very mean way of putting it. It's just simply. There's a very finite ruling, especially when it comes to the unbalance and other gods. A god can only intervene so much, so often. So if I was to try and potentially prevent one of your deaths, it could be very bad on a cosmic scale. So do understand, although you have my full-fledged support, it is still going to be very dangerous, whatever you do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good.
The fuck brought up the tape?
Well, if there's no more questions, kind of takes his staff, so he kind of clicks it a couple times, and then again this gate kind of opens up.
Wait, where is this going?
This is actually, before he even speaks, you do notice that the gate seems to open up. It actually seems to be open like on the trail, on one of the major kind of roads. You see like the dirt path that kind of stretches forward, and the kind of the scenery around it, the forest that kind of sets off to the right and left. Kalkia looks to you. This is on the border of Andria. If you were to be traveling on the road, the moment you cross over, this is where you would be. So essentially, right here. Right here on the edge.
We're on the edge of glory.
Okay, but is that where we want to go? We need to decide as a party where we want to go. Would he transport us to the Feywilds? If we asked? Should we ask?
Draven's gonna mention that for now he'll have faith in the gods, so whatever we decide, we could just go there. We could go to Andrea if we want to go there.
We could also continue what we were doing before, which is try to find the center of that cult and loot the place.
Isn't that up here though?
It's somewhere north. Hell, they might be in Andrea.
North, but we have no idea where.
Could be here, who knows? So are we going to Andrea? Or should we ask him to take us to the Feywilds?
Say Andrea.
Andrea?
He made a good point. We need to learn about Aura.
I will not send you to the Feywild, though I will not prevent you from going there either. There are people in Andrea that can help you get there. However, I am not going to be the one to do it, mostly due to the fact that I don't want you in the Feywild. But I cannot stop you.
Fair enough. So, does that sound good to everyone? Go through there?
Okay.
Alright!
I mean, I have no issue.
Sorry, that was me. I was eating chicken nuggets. So I was
Okay, I was.
Yeah, you have to sit there and wait and let B die.
Alright, so.
Whatever is happening, Travin's gonna be the last to leave.
Alright.
Okay.
Because I want to say something before I leave.
I'll go second.
Fuck you, Calcio. Okay, for the sake of it, everyone starts to pour out. As you all file out into the road, Travin, you are left behind. Calcio seems a little intrigued, but doesn't seem to openly force you out or anything.
He's gonna walk up to Calcule and with his little body, he's gonna get up real close, point a finger at him, and say, "At least promise me that you'll tell me if there's something going on past what you told me." Basically saying, like, if anything gets worse, you tell me immediately.
I can make no promises. Everything I've told you so far is everything I know of so far. But I have a feeling that if things are to escalate, you will probably be aware of them. Whether it's through me or other means.
He's gonna take a quick look at him, not say anything, and then walk out and join the rest of the party.
Okay. The moment you walk out, the gate closes behind you.
And he starts counting his loot.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All the loot's gone.
Do I have any fancy teacups?
You do actually. I would say
Plates.
it's very odd because as you're doing a double take on it, you kind of expected it just to go back. It didn't, but as you're doing a double take, you're kind of I swear I could have grabbed more. You have not as much as you expected, but you do have some, yes.
He basically took half of it back and said no.
More or less, how much is some?
You have a quarter of what you grabbed.
That's still a lot more than I expected. Teacups. A lot.
I'll say for like
A quarter of a
like-
lot.
A quarter of a lot.
Like for cups, plates, or like forks or spoons, you have like probably like 2 or 3 a piece of them.
Oh wow. But do they still look all like nice and fancy? and shit?
Yeah. No, they definitely look like something that came out of like a castle.
Hey, if the people in Andria know about Calcul and stuff, you might be able to actually give it to them and tell them that it's from Calcul and sell it for
Well,
more.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Because it is from Calcul.
Yeah, and the people here might know.
In no way anyone's gonna believe you.
Oh, anyone's gonna believe me. He's gonna fucking try.
They're gonna be like, bullshit.
I would be willing to help.
Yeah, Bo will kiss him.
Maybe. Depends if it will help.
Like, listen.
Damn, that's crazy.
Bo's gonna be like, listen.
Listen.
If you buy this plate,
I will kiss you.
not
Give
only
you a
will
big
you
old kiss.
not only will you get this plate, but you'll have one night with Bo. How about like wiggling the eyebrows and everything? Think about it. I could be anybody you wanted.
Disgusting.
Oh my
It's
God.
not creepy at all.
I didn't even think about that. Bo would be really good at that.
That's yes. That's an entire point.
You could literally be anybody's type.
That's the whole point.
Huh. Anyway,
The
getting
more-
back, getting back
I
on
now
track.
have a character idea.
Getting back on track. You guys are on the road, the main road that leads up right there on the border. This main road goes straight to whatever the fuck that town is called. Montcreasig. I don't know how to pronounce that.
It's your town.
Monte
It's a
Carlo.
randomly generated time. So I'm just gonna call it Monster Craig. Fuck it.
Monster Craig.
Yeah, Monster Craig.
Hey, yo, Craig, what's up? Yo!
But all right. So what would you guys like to do?
Find the scholars to.
Okay, wait.
Well, more importantly, which town are you aiming to go to? Because there's a couple of towns here.
Right.
Like a new big fort.
It's a little bit away. It's a little ways away.
Yeah,
but-
it is. That's.
Yeah. But what a
He
great-
didn't tell us where the libraries were. He just said there's some libraries in this country.
I was trying to imply that like all of the towns have great scholars in them.
Ah, the entire country is a library.
this whole country is just filled with scholars. Also, there are a ton of wizards in this country.
Wizard.
We could go from right to left. Like, start here. Boop, 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 boop.
That would probably be the smartest, most efficient way to do it, yeah.
It's wizard time, motherfuckers.
It's wizard time, motherfucker. Wow.
Can we literally just tell them we were sent here by Calcul?
Well,
Would they freak out?
you could, but it's just a matter if they believe you or not.
I mean, we've got Bo. I think we're fine.
Alright. So do you wanna start traveling and you're heading to Cormais?
Sure.
I think so.
Okay. Gotcha. In that case, you guys start traveling. Is there anything you're doing while you guys are traveling? Anything special? Any kind of ritual or conversation that needs to be had?
Mira's having a midlife crisis.
I think everyone a little bit is.
Fair enough.
At random times during the travel, I'm gonna take out my viol and play it.
You're what?
Don't worry about
He
it.
has an instrument?
Did you say viola?
It's a viol.
Viol.
It's a violin.
A
No.
viol.
But then whenever Bo comes over to say anything about it, he just puts it away.
Oh, you jerk!
Ace, I do have a question.
What's up?
Roughly what time is it?
It's probably about like 1 o'clock.
Alright. Amira's pulling out a furry little pal.
Okay. You should have the little sheet for that, so it should automatically do it for you if you click it. I think.
A
shit.
badger.
I need to fix that for you. I think
Picture.
it's on. Actually, it's on rollable tables. There's a tab called rollable tables, and if you open it, all right, let me double check and see if you have permission for this. Actually,
I do.
yeah, you should just open that up and then click roll, and it'll give
I got a
you.
boar.
You got a board. So there you
Yeah,
go.
Mr. Hallgrad.
You see, Amira just kind of sticks her hand into a bag and then pulls out a massive, or not a massive, but a board. I'm starting to realize how much interaction with bags you guys have.
we do have a lot of bags, huh?
You got a bag. You got a bag.
You got a lot of bags.
Together, we have baggage.
Emotional, physical.
Go,
You
go,
name it, we've got it.
Oh,
go, bag rangers.
That bad?
You're gonna kind of look around. I've got 2 more. Anybody else need a furry companion?
No thanks.
could be fun.
A random.
Am I gonna?
I think a weasel,
I believe they
a rat,
follow friendly
badger, boar,
team.
panther, giant badger, wolf, and elk.
An elk would be cool.
You want to give it a shot, Mary? You want to try to get her an elk?
If it's a rat, I'm gonna probably be very sad. But
Oh shit!
You have up to 3 tries, so that's your first one. So if you want to roll again, try to get Bo a.
Pull out.
Eris, what kind of?
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
There are now 2 boys.
That's.
I bore the boars.
All right.
I swear
You know
to
what?
God, if
I'm
you
gonna
roll
pull up a third
again,
one.
yeah, if you roll again, it's another boar. I'm gonna lose it.
I'm gonna prestidigitation my
It's a
boar.
panther. It's
Okay.
a big kitty.
All right.
Okay, so now there's 2 boars and there's a panther.
We look like some kind of circus, don't we?
Yeah, you kind of do.
Wait, we could probably make money if we became a traveling. I don't know what I'm saying.
2 gold to pet the panther. 1
yeah,
gold to pet the boar. Or ride the boar.
that could be an easy. Maybe not easy, but maybe get an extra couple gold.
Does Eris use a shield?
Yeah. Yeah, I
You
do.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, why are you asking questions? Why am I
Here.
trusting you with answers?
Give it here. Oi, give it
I
here.
know why he's asking, because I completely forgot what Travin was.
Give it here.
Give what?
No.
Give me your shield.
No.
Yes.
I think that our party.
Why?
You should give
I'm gonna give it back. Just give me your shield.
I don't trust you. You are gonna give it back in a strange condition.
He's
Call
gonna
it
do
what you
something
want.
weird. That's me. That's the wrong person.
You know,
Okay. She just slides the shield towards him.
Okay, while we're going on it, I want to use enhanced defense on it.
Okay, you'll have to do that after long rest.
Yep.
But yeah, you can definitely do that when you take a rest. Let's take it. Eris.
Mm.
You guys are walking along, and it's very. Oh, of course, you can't recall it since it only happened to Amira, but it's a very similar situation. As you're walking down this path, you begin to feel a thrumming. And you begin to realize it feels like your heartbeat. This heavy thump, 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 thump. It's an instance where it's almost like your aura is trying to reach out to you unconsciously. Though, where it differs from Amira's is the fact that it's not really guiding you anywhere, but you feel strange. You feel cautious, alert, even. And as you're going on, you find yourself, just from pure instinct, you're occasionally glancing over your shoulder and like behind you. You almost feel like you're targeted.
Oh no.
But it's more of a warning from this sensation, this aura. It's like it's warning you about something. And it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's making you scared. It's making you on guard. Like you're ready for something to hop out at you. And you continue, and you guys at a certain point begin to notice this area seems a little jumpy.
Eris, you good? Look, that's not a good answer. What's wrong?
Something's fishy.
Like what?
Travis
Is it
looking
Travis?
for a
I don't know.
river. Travis looking for a river.
I'll say,
I think it's could be because Traven stole my shield and it still hasn't given me.
It takes a minute.
you do notice, Eris, as Bo speaks to you, it seems to gradually disappear.
I have a calming effect on people.
No, you spoke its name and now it's gone.
Is that not a good thing?
I don't know. I don't like the fact that it's just disappeared.
What? Okay, what just disappeared?
It's hard to explain.
You know what? I like
It had a vibe. There was a vibe.
You got the heart. You got the. It might be similar to what I had in the domain.
Hmm? Oh, you weird heartbeat thing?
Yeah.
It wasn't leading me anywhere. I was just aware.
But that leading might not be the only thing it does.
Can I look around?
Sure. Take a look around. It's about what you'd expect from a very nice forest scenery. Nothing really jumps out at you out of the ordinary. There's not even really any like people in the foreseeable distance.
Is it like heavily forest?
No, it's kind of I mean it is like further away, but I mean I'm talking there's like this road has been like specially built and kind of cleared out in order to traverse this place. So there's probably like a good like 80 feet before the tree line. So there's, I mean, in terms of like somebody hiding and sneaking up on you, it's damn near impossible, especially in the middle of the day.
I'm gonna fly up and just take a look to see if I could see any further out than what they're seeing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, same deal as Bo. Kind of fly up and look around. There's nothing that really sticks out to your interest. And I mean, no real rules for it because there really isn't anything out there. DM's on it.
You know what? I think we all need a drink. And I'm not just saying this but I mean, who mentioned it? Someone said girls' night out. Was it Amira?
All right.
It was Amira.
Oh,
Could be fun, you two to have a girls' night out. Me and Chabin and Vale have boys' night out. We drink, we relax, because clearly we're very stressed.
I gotta go with Vale.
Vale's coming with us. He, I believe, is a boy.
I don't know, I never checked on that.
Technically, I guess I could go either way, but I mean, If you'll have me, I'd like to be with the boys.
With the boys.
How do you feel about it, Eris?
I mean, I don't know.
Would it calm you down?
I'm not very good at relaxing. So
You should try
no.
it. Why are you laughing at me? What? Trevin.
Okay. There's only one thing in this world that has ever given me calm, and it is playing my instrument.
You should have said something sooner. What?
Why did you say something?
Oh, Eris.
What
What do you mean,
Girls' night. Girls' night.
Ugh. Do you know how to play an instrument, Amira?
What did you just call me?
I said, do you know how to play an instrument, Amira?
I heard Amnia. I'm like, who the fuck
No,
is
no,
Amnia?
no.
What the fuck?
Stop laughing at me, Trev.
I mean, not really. Like, I got a bell.
I guess that is an instrument. What do you have a bell for?
The reasons.
Okay, stay cryptic. It's...
When am I not cryptic?
That's a good point. But I think that we all need some relaxing time, and I also think that there's clear trust issues. I'm staring at Amira. And then I'm gonna look at Eris.
Not a trust issue. Oh my.
Well, Eris doesn't exactly trusting of
Let me make
Travis.
this very clear before anybody starts saying, "Oh, Amira's got trust issues," because I'm gonna snuff out this rumor real quick. It's not that I don't trust you. It's that my entire life is based on a fucking secret. Like, my job is a secret.
I understand.
It's not. I don't trust you. It's literally my job to be secretive.
I know.
I believe in you, Amira.
I'm glad somebody does.
Oh, look, you two are already getting along so well. Girls' night out for you two, boys' night out for us three.
I'm actually starting to worry, actually. That
I'm alone with that. Never mind. You know what?
it's a ploy to extort me out of more money.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's extorting Eris.
Are you serious? When have I demanded money from you? When have I ever demanded payment back from you? Okay? Tell me when.
The armor.
Have I demanded payments on it?
Yes.
I did not. I basically just said, yeah, pay me back whenever.
That's demanding payment.
Pay me back whenever. With interest.
Do you think
I said without. Hold on a second. I said without interest.
I know you did, but I don't believe you.
Then the trust issues are back.
Oh, yep.
Fine.
Okay.
You want to know what you want to know what the interest is? Do you want to know why I did it?
Oh boy.
Why?
You want to know why?
Why?
Mira's over here like losing her fucking mind.
Say they can't trust me. I swear to God.
It was a future investment. I can't have the bronze of the fucking party going down. Now, can I? Part of me feels a little selfish that I thought, you know, hey, if I pay for the bronze of the group to have good armor, that, you know, maybe they would stand up just a little bit longer for us to actually do something about the situation.
Yeah, but from the stories
That
I
is
heard,
that
Eris
is my
went
invest.
down.
That is literally all the interest. The more you make yourself useful, the better.
Oh, so Eris isn't useful enough for you.
Okay, wait. Everyone, calm down.
Travin very clearly knows what he is doing.
I'm pulling out a crowbar from my fucking bag and I'm walking towards Kevin. Come here, you.
Wait. Okay. We clearly need to calm down.
Ah!
I
My
want.
entire life is crumbling around me. Okay, leave me alone.
Oh, I trust me. I understand. Maybe. I'm worried that there's not going to be good taverns in a scholarly place. I don't know. We'll just go. We'll figure it out.
Nerds like to drink.
was about to say, I would think they'd be more knowledgeable about anything else.
Oh, so you think that they'd be super drunk? Okay.
Maybe
They
not
make-
super drunk, but they would at least probably know how to make good alcohol.
I make the good shit.
Well, they probably got like that, like
There is a science to making alcohol.
they got that wine that they like swish, swish, swirl before they take a sip.
Oh my god. Actually, some wine sounds pretty good right about now. Eris, what do you think?
Sure.
Yes. This is a great idea.
Alright. I will say before you get to Cormets, it'll be you're definitely gonna probably you're gonna be taking a long rest in a camp. It's probably gonna take you about 2 days to get there. As you travel on. The day eventually becomes night. As you find yourself setting up camp. You all set up in a relatively safe place. As you set up your bedrolls, get places to sit, a little campfire going. You all sit down and begin to make kind of small talk before taking your watches and heading off to bed. As the night goes on, Trabin, you find yourself in a similar experience as Eris and Amira. This, however, yours is a little lighter. You begin to make out your heartbeat, this kind of thump, 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 thump. And as you're sitting there, you begin to realize your hearing, it gets fuzzy. You're kind of only making out a couple of words. Like, you're making out a majority of the sentences, and then it shrinks down to only a couple of the words. And then you get to the point to where you can't really make sense of what anyone's talking about, what they're saying even, as you begin to kind of lull into this kind of trance. You stare kind of blankly towards the fire. And oddly enough, your chest fills with this longing, this sadness almost. Almost like you're homesick. Everyone go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Perceive.
Trab in his brain, just where are you? I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight.
He's like sitting there, like wine's just like dribbling out of his mouth. Yeah, you're the first to notice. Trabin is like in a trance. And you even say his name a couple times. He just doesn't respond. He's staring blankly into this fire.
I'm in a game between him and the fire. Yo, Earth the Trabid.
Still seems to be no response. Iris, you now notice as Amira kind of gets up, and then you both begin to notice that Trabin is not paying attention.
So nothing out of the ordinary.
Nothing new.
He seems to be like in this trance, and both of y'all even kind of like call out his name. And as you call out his name, he doesn't respond.
Can I slap him?
Oh. Okay.
Strength check, Iris.
Eris!
What?
You just go
The
straight.
obvious solution.
Oh.
I missed.
Ace.
Iris, you watch You slap him. You slap him pretty hard, actually.
Oh.
Kind of get this kind of resounding like whoosh, kind of rings out. Traven just simply seems to snap and fall back, like flat on his back, still in a trance. It's almost like the slap just unaffected him.
Oh.
Oh my god. Eris, that was rude.
Oh
but
my god. Alright, time
Yeah.
to check the inventory.
That's what I'm looking at.
I'm a lot stronger than you thought it was.
But Traven, as you're sitting there, you're still. It's not like you're. It's not like you can't think. Or it's not like you're paralyzed, but you're lost in thought, and this sense, this aura that seems to be unconsciously reacting to something. You just feel like something is missing, like a longing. Again, the best way to describe it is almost like you're homesick. You keep occasionally thinking of the Feywild and the news that Calcula had about it. And you kind of lay on your back, looking up at the stars. Whereas you can't really hear or make out anything, you can see. And the stars, they're nice. The material plane stars are definitely beautiful. But you lay there and just kind of think about how much more beautiful the sky was back in the Feywild. How much more beautiful just the Feywild in general was in comparison to the material plane. It just kind of fills you with this sense of sadness. And almost as quickly as it started, the sound comes rushing back in. And you guys watch his pupils kind of dilate for a moment. They kind of shrink, and you kind of put yourself back, Traven. You can hear them again. They're all just like, they're like saying your name and like shaking you and stuff.
How long ago did Eris slap me?
Not very long ago.
Okay, cool. He's gonna feel it now, and he's just gonna go, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Much.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Kinda zoned out really hard.
Okay.
Just okay? Were you
I
charmed?
like you're still zoned out.
I'm fine.
Eris him again.
What? Maybe.
I say less.
Wait!
I cast grease at her feet.
She doesn't.
It's gonna be a little hard.
She doesn't hit you because I'm assuming your armor class is better than 8.
Yeah, by 1.
Oh!
It's still
It was
enough.
the bardic inspiration when we needed it.
I'm not giving Eris help. Sorry.
It's okay. I will. Hey, Eris, you want a shiny new weapon?
I'm still casting.
No, I have a
grease at her
great
feet.
weapon. Screw you.
I'm still casting.
I would
grease
argue
at her
mine's
feet.
better.
Okay, Eris, you're like the area. Like, I'm this, like, actually, this hits everybody because Greece is like 20 feet. So the whole camp. The whole camp kind of like as grease just splatters. Go ahead. You know what? Traven, roll me a D100.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna make all our camp supplies.
Burn, baby, burn.
All right, you're very lucky, Kevin. The grease seemed to avoid the campfire in the middle, so it did not just turn into like an eruption of fire.
Oh.
I can fix that.
No.
I can fix that.
But yeah, now as you're like standing there, it's like you guys kind of have to like focus to like stay up. You're kind of like ooh, 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 like stepping very carefully, and like the ground underneath you is very slick.
Trevin, why?
I'm just gonna start flying.
It also doesn't.
I know that.
Okay. It also doesn't smell very good. It smells kind of bad.
We need to move our camp.
Does prestidigitation work on Grace? I don't even know.
I think technically it would, because prestidigitation cleans up.
I'm just gonna clean up my area.
It would take you a while, but yeah, you could clean it up technically.
Why am I cleaning the woods?
I don't think grease is concentration, is it? It's just like a one and done kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a one and done.
Okay, I thought so. So you see Bo just kind of like...
Why? Why?
There's even like some that like splattered onto your bedroll, Bo, so now you have to like take your bedroll and just kind of...
Dude, why? She's coming to slap me.
Mind you, don't forget prestidigitation. It cleans it perfectly. Like it is spotless now. You can also make it smell however you want.
Man, my bedroll smells like flowers now.
It smells like farts.
No!
Hey, Bo, can I get some help with you?
I'll help you.
I will say, just due to the spell, it smells like flowers for like a minute, and then it just goes back to normal.
It's fine. I know you wanted to trip Eris up, but that affected all of us. The fire was right there. That could have been really bad.
Well, why were you next to her?
Because we were all standing next to each other. It affected all of us.
It's not my fault.
Bo points it out, and then suddenly, no.
No.
Delayed reaction.
It was right next to the fire. All right. Do you guys want to take a long rest?
We should take shifts.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Who wants what shift?
Do we all have to have our own shift, or do we tear up?
I will say, for the sake of it, you can take your shifts however you want. Nothing's gonna happen during this night.
Oh, sweet.
Nothing's gonna jump out at you or anything.
This night.
Yeah. All right. Also, as we kind of tie up the session, as per usual, I do have a little scene for you. What would be the best for this? I guess.
Oh, that means our thing is gone. Our extra bonus.
Yes, it is. And the fear and the immunity to fright and whatnot. All right. So the scene is actually that of there appears to be a pretty it's a pretty nice looking village, but it's kind of in the section of where kind of the royalty is, the kind of castle and kind of the bigger areas, more important areas like that. The scene takes place actually in the barracks. There appears to be a slew of different soldiers that are training rigorously. Men and women alike, they are going through this kind of rigorous training, kind of, they're doing kind of like burpees and they're doing push-ups, kind of running laps, fighting with weapons, using bows, training with all sorts of weapons. And as they kind of perform these different techniques, you can see there's like a main group in the middle that is doing like a specialty training. Seems to be doing kind of like rigorous kind of sparring and kind of different kind of just like techniques to train. And as they do it, you can see there's one main fellow there. He's a pretty nicely sized man. He's probably about 6'7", very, very big and built, muscular, has all sorts of different kind of like a fur cloak and all like a couple of swords, like even a few daggers, and like a big bow that kind of sits on his back. He seems to be kind of like the main leader. And as they perform these different training techniques, you see as they stop, he's just simply kind of encouraging them on. He just kind of shouts, again, 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 and just kind of keeps them going and going and going. And as this goes on, there's eventually an elder that seems to kind of make his way out of there. You can definitely tell just from the way he's dressed, he's kind of a more religious figure. But despite that, he still kind of has this like combat-esque kind of nature to him. This kind of fur cloaks, kind of like small daggers that kind of are sheathed at his hips, and even like his big staff along his back. And as he comes kind of hobbling up. He's like, sir, please, Sir Atticus, I have news for you. And you see, kind of makes this gesture with his hand, kind of closes and clenches his fist shut. As he's like, that's enough. All right, laps, all of you. Kind of gives them orders as they all start to kind of file off and start to do laps and kind of take trainings. As this figure kind of brings his attention around. I'm sorry to interrupt your training, sir, but it's about your daughter, Iris. And kind of gives him a very kind of strange, kind of like squint as he kind of begins to walk back with him into this building. As he kind of looks to him. Like, what about her? We've already banished her. What more do we need to know? As they make their way inside, it's like, well, sir, it's about her faith. I've had visions. I've even spoke to Hexstar. He kind of looks to him. I already know of what she's done. Tell me something new. What do I need to know? Well, she's no longer, there's no doubt about it, she's no longer a part of Hexstar. You see, it's Hieronis now. She's fully devoted herself. I heard from Hexstar himself. You see, he seems to take in this information. Seems to think about it for a moment. Finally, he says, thank you. And then kind of waves him off. You see, kind of seems to kind of step deeper in as he's looking around for a moment. He opens his door. It seems to open up into his room as there's it's a pretty rough little room, but still serves its purpose. There seems to be a female in here. She seems to be kind of making things kind of nice and tidy a little bit, kind of putting a bit of a kind of clothing and equipment as he pokes his head in there. Jupiter, I have a mission for you. She kind of turns her attention. Yes, what is it, Father? It seems that your sister, Eris, is a little further along than we thought. I want you to find her. I want you to try and bring her back. But if she refuses, then you have my permission to kill her. And she, without even a shadow of a doubt, just, yes, sir, kind of gives him a bow. As he gives her a nod, closes the door behind him, and goes back to his duties. And with that, we will go ahead and end the session for tonight.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
I'm gonna get grounded!
Gonna get a lot more than grounded.
I think you're gonna be 6 feet under the grounded. Oh my
Man.
goodness.
And then before I forget, because I'm 100% going to forget before the next session, Eris, when we wake up, your shield is now +1.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Wasn't
Hell
your shield up? Or no. No, who had the +1 shield?
Veil.
I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there like, why does he want a shield? Or like, want her shield so badly? And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do stuff.
You just kept playing Chavin as Chavin that I 100% forgot what he was.
He's Travis the businessman. That's all I need to know about him.
Yeah. All right, well, I hope you had fun. I know that was a more of a roleplay intense session. I'm not going to give.